Russell Wilson is playing lights out.
He is.
Or at least he did against the Bengals yesterday. 400 yards. That's the best I've seen him look. He was, he looked amazing. And Aaron Rodgers continues to struggle. And I'm just wondering if we had to bet right now, when they're done, and Russell Wilson's 36, Aaron Rodgers, I believe, is 40. When they're done, who's going to have a better reputation? Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson?
Okay, look, first of all, Butter, you're good, you. You're good, you. You called it. You don't get a box.
Did you hear Jason's He hesitated to give me that prop today. He hesitated.
No, but I don't. I am a man of honor and integrity. You called it. You were like the Bambino, Babe Ruth. You stepped out of that batter's box. You just pointed to that center field bleachers.
One game.
Okay, but he's actually played pretty well. So you called your shot, Bambino. Now, Aaron Rodgers. Now, you know I'm an admirer, but I've had my criticisms. Jason, last night, I was a little bit bored, so I'm just flipping through Netflix, and I saw this special on one Elvis Aaron Presley, the king. I think you may have heard of him. Had a nice career. So, and I'm watching it, and I started doing a deep dive on Elvis, saw some other videos. Right now, what we are seeing out of Aaron Rodgers is Fat Elvis. It's Fat Elvis.
Yes.
It is. It's not. There is no 1968 comeback concert television special on NBC. I'm not saying that he's prone on his bathroom, just lifeless, but this is Fat Elvis. I mean, it's sad to watch. And the Jets have been in a lot of games. It's not like they're getting blown out 35-3 every week. And there's a particular pattern. He throws an interception, either a pick six. He has a chance to win the game, and it doesn't happen. So, yes, right now it's trending. I hate to say it. Russell Wilson right now might have a better conclusion to his career than Fat Elvis Rodgers.
Man, that is a great analogy.
It is.
I'm very jealous.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Very jealous that I did not come up with that. Fat Elvis for Aaron Rodgers. I want to play you a couple of clips. Willie Colon, former Jets offensive lineman, former Pittsburgh Steelers offensive lineman. I used to work with him at Fox Sports. He'd been at Barstool. But here's Willie Colon talking about the smugness of Aaron Rodgers.
Well, that's who Aaron Rodgers is. That's who he's always been. The problem is that he's always covered that up because of the way he's played, right? You can be smug and cocky, and then you get MVPs. You're in the NFC Championship every year. You're balling. You can make every throw on the field. You can be smug. The problem is his smugness and his arrogance and his play aren't matching up. And the issue right now moving forward is that, listen, if you're a Jets fan, you damn right you have to be upset. Because we all of us have sat through the Zach Wilson era. Mm-hmm. And we were told by Joe Douglas and his regime, once we get Aaron Rodgers, bad times are behind us. They're not. If anything, this is an ultra reset, right? So, yeah, if you're a Jets fan, you have to be damn pissed off at Aaron Rodgers because what Connor said, listen, if we give you the ball, the Aaron Rodgers in game-winning situations, this is Kobe. This should be 88 out the gate. This should be an easy dub for us. And our defense isn't horrible. They became horrible. They started to play bad because of the injuries and the lack of confidence in themselves, especially out of their star players. But if I'm a Jets fan, I'm pissed off at the fact that we fired our head coach, right? And we ended up 1-5 out of that. We got Devontae Adams, and we haven't seen him take over games like we see Justin Jefferson and other elite receivers take over games. I'm looking at a running back who started the season as a top 5 running back. You can't find him on offense. I'm looking at a quarterback who will be wearing a gold jacket one day, right? And he's the worst in the NFL. So if you're the Jets fan, burn the whole damn thing up. Burn the whole building up. Nothing makes sense because you promised me after Achilles that we were going to be better. Everything's worse than it was before.
Let's be honest. The insurance model is broken. Crowd Health puts your health care back in your hands. Use the promo code FEARLESS at joincrowdhealth.com. That's joincrowdhealth.com, promo code FEARLESS. Man, this Fat Elvis comparison will live in infamy. I can't wait to get this clip out there.
Yeah.
But do you know? Are you an Elvis fan?
I remember Elvis, and I like he said, there's no comeback concert too. That was even a further point where Elvis made his comeback.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers was, the greatest or on that trajectory, and now it's crashing and burning. On the other side of this, what do you make of what's going? I mean, is this a one-off because the Bengals defense, I'm talking about Russell Wilson, the Bengals defense is bad, or is Russell Wilson just getting more and more comfortable and the Steelers right now look like an outside threat to be a problem for someone in the AFC?
Jason, here's what the Steelers do every week, though. They play defense. I never would have thought this, but 5 years ago, J.J. Watt is not the best football player in his own family, and he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, that's a difference maker every single week, it seems like. But what I like about Russell Wilson now, he's just back to being a football player. He's not trying to be a motivational speaker. He's not trying to be Mr. Unlimited. I have not heard about his wife in a while. My belief is that Mike Tomlin has got him back to what he was, the guy that I fell in love with, just a guy that played ball. He may be a little quirky. He may not be for everybody. Maybe he's still a little bit too Carlton Banks for certain players. I get it. But the fact he's just gone back to being a ball player, I think has been immense. Now, you talked about this, Jason, in one of your tweets. If they could ever get George Pickens settled down, they have something there. He has the ability to be a true number one receiver and a game breaker, but he is just so volatile. But if there's one coach that could settle it, because he's been through these situations, it is Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, when I look around, obviously the Baltimore Ravens are far more vulnerable than we anticipated. They certainly seem to have a problem at kicker. And the Buffalo Bills look pretty good. Maybe they're the best team in the AFC. The Chiefs look real beatable. I don't. Pittsburgh could end up being because I'm not impressed with C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. Not as impressed as I was. We could be looking up here in late December, early January, and the Pittsburgh Steelers could be the best team in the AFC, and that would be hats off to Russell Wilson, and it would be hats off to Mike Tomlin. He took some heat for saying, you know what, I see what Justin Fields is doing. I think we can do better. People thought it was unfair for him to bench Justin Fields. What a huge call by Mike Tomlin, and he's being proven right.
If Mike Tomlin brings home another Super Bowl with this particular core, he needs to be given credit not just as a really, really good coach, I think all-time great. And I'll tell you why. It's not the number of Super Bowls. It's going to be hard to surpass Bill Walsh, Chuck Nolan, obviously Belichick. But for the fact that this guy, whose first year, I believe, was 2008 or 9, he's literally never had a losing season. Now, again, not a lot of postseason success the past 7-8 years. I get it. But the Steelers, they have a way of hiring coaches with lasting success, whether it's Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and now Tomlin. And for Tomlin to navigate all the recent personalities and the turbulence, and if he could help rehabilitate Russell Wilson to not, I'm not going to even say Super Bowl, but just get him to where they're winning double-digit games and can be a threat in the playoff. Once again, it's another feather in the cap to a coach that I still don't think gets enough credit.
Butter, seriously, and we all laughed. Russell Wilson's going to win another Super Bowl, you said. Didn't think it would be with Pittsburgh, but now it actually might be with Pittsburgh.
It could be, and I think to some degree, Mike Tomlin, there was talk about Mike Tomlin, even though he's never had a losing season, there was talk of him,
Expiration date.
So Russell Wilson, we're saying he's resurrecting Russell Wilson's career. I'm saying Russell Wilson might be saving Tomlin's career a little bit here.
Wow.
And And only in this.
Couldn't leave that victory alone. Could you just
Yeah.
But
I mean,
what I'm
on,
saying
man.
is
Don't push it now.
I think
Jeez.
what they haven't had in Pittsburgh for a long time was a guy that was this solid, this mentally tough, this sure and comfortable with themselves. They've had a lot of guys come and go. Even though Tomlin's been steady, Russell Wilson
Hold on, Butter.
is the steady.
We gotta stay factual.
He's the steadying.
Ben Roethlisberger was their quarterback for like 15 straight years.
I'm saying since Roethlisberger.
Yeah, that's only been 2 or 3 years, but go ahead.
No, it's been.
Roethlisberger only retired 2 or 3 years ago.
All
Yeah.
I'm saying, Russell Wilson is a steadying veteran quarterback that's got a lot of game left in him. I like what I'm seeing. And I'm happy for Russell Wilson. When you go look back at the guys and the way he got treated coming out of Seattle, who are you taking now? Sherman, or are you taking Russell Wilson? You know what I'm saying? I like it for him.
Yeah, Roethlisberger's last season was 2021, but you're right. It's what Russell Wilson's doing.
By the time he ended, though, he had been done for 5 years before that.
Guys,
He'd
hold
been
on.
done for 2 or 3 years, but I hear
Guys,
you. Yep, go ahead.
Guys, before we etch in the Steelers' name on the Lamar Hunt trophy, there's a team in Buffalo. They're kind of good. Okay? Just want to let you know, the Buffalo Bills are going to have a say in all of this. And I'm just going to say it right now. This might actually be Josh Allen's year to get to the soup.
Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.